It is now 11 p.m. where I am, and Manchester United has just hosted another match at Old Trafford, this time against Crystal Palace, and we won the game 1-0 under new manager Ralf Rangnick. What an exciting game it was to watch, especially in that first half. I don't know if it's just new manager bounce, or it's every player wants to impress the new manager, or even if it's sustainable throughout the season, but we were dominant. We had, I think, at least 60% of the possession, and there's so many things to break down that I want to talk about, especially attacking wise and defensive wise. And one of the things was pressing. All the players were pressing at every moment. Our passing is more direct and forward passing, and by that I mean Lindelof has always wanted to look for Ronaldo up front, and how Fred was pushed up so far up in front of the 6-yard box, especially when the ball is either in the wings or in the front two. And when one of our players has the ball, we always have at least one or two players supporting him, so we can have this fast-paced one-touch passing that worked out a lot. Our pressing has also improved immensely. We set up in a 4-2-2-2 with Rashford and Ronaldo up front. We have Bruno Fernandes and Sancho in the wings interchanging. We have Fred McTominay the back. We have Dalot, Telles, Harry Maguire, and Lindelof, and David De Gea. And I was particularly impressed with how Lindelof was so far up the pitch every time, no matter where Crystal Palace won the ball, where Crystal Palace had the ball, but every time Crystal Palace had the ball and near center halfway line, he was already bombing forward trying to intercept. So that's very impressive to see. And our positioning in attack is also something particularly to look at. We were overloading the box. We were forcing the middle to be so congested with all our players, at least 6 players, just tight and compact in the middle, and Crystal Palace were forced to be defending very compact, and that led to a lot of crossing from Dalot and Telles, who's again impressive in the last 2 matches, attacking wise and defensive wise, but morely attacking. We had a lot of balls from the wings with Alex Telles and Diego Dalot crossing it in. It was a lot of promising things I could see from Ralf Rangnick with his, as he said in his press conference, with his one training session. So far it looks very, very impressive, and it looks like we improved. And I could go on and gush on and how we played, how good we were, but these things takes time. I do understand that, and there was also a lot of things that could be improved on. And he also has said in his press conference earlier that it takes more than 3 or 4 weeks to implement how he wants to play. And we could see that there are things to improve, especially in the second half. We couldn't get back to the rhythm we had. We couldn't press in the proper way. We couldn't dominate the game in the proper way, at least in the first 30 minutes of the second half, or the whole of the second half that we played. And there was a lot of, the thing is that we misplaced a lot of shots. We had a lot of shots, but at least only 2 in the first half. I didn't see how much we had on target in the second half, but 2 on target was really something that we need to look at. And also there was a lot of times, or only sometimes actually, that we had to resort or rely on just bombing it forward to Cristiano Ronaldo in the first half. And I guess there's something that need to be improved. But yeah, our long balls, our final balls, that need to be looked at in the first, in the attacking wise, and yeah. But in the second half, after 30 minutes of kind of not having the rhythm, not having the same intensity, after I think our 10th shot from outside the box, it was that many, one finally got in, and it was by the one and only Fred, who has been very impressive ever since Michael Carrick was in the helm. And now with Ralf Rangnick, he has continued that good form. Usually when he scores, we were already winning by a big margin. I think it was against one of the Champions Leagues in the last season where we won 5-0, and or was it Europa League? I think it was Europa League. Yeah, it was Europa League group stages when we won 5-2 or something. And against Leeds this season, it was his first goal since the 14th of August against Leeds. And what what a game for him. He has been very impressive in the last 4 games, I want to say. And yeah, under Carrick and now under Ralf, he's been playing very well, and he has to be at least my man of the match. He's been very impressive going forward, and he's been impressive with the goals he scored, and he has to be my man of the match. And for the worst player, well, it has to be one of the attacking players from Crystal Palace, probably either Christian Benteke or Jordan Ayew. With Crystal Palace mostly defending, they had to be very compact with us pushing so forward. We had to be compact in defense, and mostly every time they had the ball, they just boot it out to the having long balls to, I think it was only Zaha forward, and Christian Benteke and Jordan Ayew didn't really have any attacking nor defending support for Crystal Palace at any time in the match, especially with Jordan Ayew, that one miss right before we score. But yeah, it's very exciting to see. Oh, I also forgot to mention how it isn't even our full squad yet. We had Van de Beek and Greenwood playing. We had Elanga also playing from the bench. We haven't seen Jesse Lingard, and with a lot of our first team players injured. Rafael Varane, we have Luke Shaw, we have Paul Pogba, we have Edinson Cavani still injured, and I can't wait to see how they'll play under Ralf Rangnick once they recover from their injuries. So yeah, it's very exciting to see how we'll play in the future under Ralf Rangnick, and I'll see you in the next match, probably in a few days because of how busy our schedule is.